Remember sitting on your bedroom floor as a kid, flicking through a LEGO Star Wars visual dictionary, dreaming about the sets that you didn't have? Well, I guarantee that some of those have never been seen since, and it seems like LEGO has completely forgotten about them. Will here from the Brick Bracket, and welcome to my top 10 LEGO Star Wars sets that need to be remade. On this list, I'll only be including sets that LEGO has made before in some capacity, but ones where we're long overdue for an updated version. This list is based on which ones I personally would like to see most. So if you like my ranking, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. As always, thanks for watching, and let's get into things. First on the list, in 10th place, is Luke's Land Speeder. I'm just kidding. Although I wouldn't mind seeing it in a Lars family homestead, which they could release for the 50th anniversary of A New Hope. My actual 10th spot goes to a General Grievous wheel bike chase. Now, the last time we saw this scene depicted in LEGO form was in set 75040, General Grievous's wheel bike, releasing back in 2014. Despite a great build for the wheel bike, that set isn't of the actual chase, as there's no Obi-Wan's boga included. In fact, the only time LEGO's made the creature was in 2005, alongside the release of Revenge of the Sith. Just give me an updated version of that set, but I think instead of using massive moulded pieces for the boga, it should be mostly brick built, but use a moulded head, much like the creatures for LEGO Avatar. Obviously it should come with a Grievous and an Obi-Wan minifigure, but throw in a Cody, or an Airborne Trooper, or even some of the species seen on Utapau. Is it Powans? It would be such a great set, and 20 years is far too long a wait. In 9th place is a Bwing. While I'd like another UCS version, as I missed out on the 2012 one, I think the ship is overdue in any form. The same as the wheel bike, the last playscale Bwing, set 75050, released in 2014. While I consider that a near-perfect version, the ship doesn't get nearly as much love as the rest of the Rebel fleet. Before 2014 they'd released one every 7 years. I've seen some fans theorise that the new cockpit piece included with Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor may have been designed with a UCS B-Wing in mind. This would make a lot of sense, as a UCS Y-Wing, A-Wing and X-Wing released a lot more recently than the B-Wing. Whichever way they go about it, whether UCS or playscale, I'd like to see them use the new 9nm head mould for a 10nm minifigure. Saying that, in a UCS version they'll probably throw in a B-Wing pilot and call it a day. Next on the list goes to the Duel of the Fates. In my opinion, this is the best scene in The Phantom Menace, and was last seen in LEGO back in 2017 in set 75169, Duel on Naboo. While 8 years makes it one of the more recent releases on this list, I feel as though such an epic duel demands a set that is more epic than this. I can see them remaking this as a diorama, much like the Emperor's Throne Room. But what I think would be an even cooler way of doing it is as a Master Builders series set. Just imagine, something the same size as Lord of the Rings Rivendell, but instead you go from the Theed hangar, maybe with a full-scale Naboo starfighter, through the side exit doors and into the generator room. You could then have sets of laser gates and the main reactor shaft for the climax of the duel. Also, with an MBS Theed Palace there's so much potential for minifigures. You could have Queen Amidala, Captain Panaka, Newt Gunray, droid Eckers with an updated design, Annie, and at the bare minimum, Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon and Darth Maul. 7th place I'm giving to a UCS Darth Vaders Tire Advanced. The original, set 10175 Vaders Tire Advanced, is nearly 20 years old. Despite this, the build holds its own against most UCS sets, but would definitely benefit from some modern building techniques rounding out the cockpit, following 2015's UCS TIE Fighter and 2024's TIE Interceptor. A remake of this set must be round the corner, along with a UCS TIE Bomber. I actually think the Bomber's the coolest, so Defender and Avenger fans, fight me in the comments. In 6th place, I'm putting Jabas Palace. Like the Duel on Naboo, I think this is a perfect contender for the Master Builder series treatment. LEGO, listen, we want more MBS. Over the years we've had several versions of the palace, some better than others. The original, releasing in 2003, could be combined with two sets that were sold separately, being Jabba's Message and Jabba's Prize. This way you could expand the build and the minifigure roster. Interestingly enough, LEGO took a similar approach in 2013, where they sold the Rancor pit separately to the palace itself. Together, they offer the most complete version of the palace that we've ever had. I'm proud to say that I own both of the sets from 2013, but I can't help but wonder just how well they could pull off an MBS version. Not only could we see the return of Bosch Leia, who's become quite an expensive minifigure on the aftermarket, but we've never had a Cy Snootles minifigure, or the other members of Max Rebo's band. Surely that alone makes it worthy of a remake. I'm giving 5th place to the UCS Imperial Shuttle. There's no arguing with the fact that the 2010 release is near perfection. It's a behemoth of a set, and despite the stand, is right at home with modern UCS sets. Unfortunately, if you want to get your hands on a new and sealed copy today, it's going to cost you upwards of $1,500 or £1,200 on the aftermarket. Having been over 15 years and such an iconic ship, the time feels right for a remake, especially as I'm sure that there are a lot of collectors out there with yellow versions. In fourth place, I've got an Echo base. The last time LEGO attempted this was with the 2015 UCS version, which actually came out before the Master Builder series line was even a thing. Unfortunately, it was a pretty underwhelming set with several inaccuracies, and its poor reception is probably the main reason that we haven't seen another since. But that does feel strange, because LEGO's kept Hoth alive in other ways. We've had both a Playscale and a UCS 8080, as well as a Hoth ATST, but nothing on the Rebel side to pair them with. Now imagine a modern MBS Echo base, a hangar big enough to house a couple of snowspeeders, command rooms with those iconic screens, a medical bay. It could even come with a Wampa cave as a GWP. With today's design standards, LEGO could really do the location some justice. Echo base deserves another chance, and honestly, I'm surprised LEGO hasn't remade it already. In third place, I've gone with Bounty Hunter Pursuit from 2002. This is one of those sets that feels really overdue. Coruscant is such a huge part of the prequels, yet it's been criminally underrepresented in LEGO form. A remake could finally give us that neon skyline vibe, maybe even a small chunk of a traffic lane or platform to tie the speeders together. I've always loved how unique and vibrantly coloured both of the air speeders are, making them really pop in a LEGO display. It's crazy to think that the only Zam Wessel minifigure uses the outdated yellow skin tone. Perhaps LEGO will revisit this set for the 25th anniversary of Attack of the Clones. In second place, I'm going with a Playscale Ventor. Seeing how well LEGO executed the recent Imperial Star Destroyer at that scale really made me realise just how much of an improvement we could get over the 2009 version. Although I love that set, the proportions were a little clunky, and the interior was pretty basic. As proven with the Star Destroyer, with modern design techniques I think LEGO could give us a much sleeker exterior, without compromising the interior space, giving us troop bays, a miniature hangar, and a command bridge. The minifigure lineup could also be incredible. We could see the return of Senate Commandos, a clone gunner, any Phase 1 clones really. Following LEGO's recent trend of releasing a Playscale set alongside the current UCS set, I have hoped that LEGO will release a Playscale Ventor whilst the UCS one's still on shelves. I think everyone would appreciate a more accessible version of such a popular ship, and after 15 years, I think the time is right. At this point in the video, I'd usually give some honourable mentions, but there are so many that didn't make the cut. Think Palpatine's Arrest, Home 1, The Malevolence. There are countless contenders, so to be honest, I might make a video on another 10 sets that could do with a remake. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you'd like to see, or if I missed any that are glaringly obvious. And finally, in first place, I'm putting a remake of the Battle of Endor, or more specifically, the bunker itself. 2009's 8038 is the only representation of this scene that we've ever had, and I think this set is an all-timer. With 12 minifigures, 2 speeder bikes, an ATST, an Ewok with a glider, the bunker, a catapult. It has so much to offer, and the scene that it represents is of such significance in Star Wars, as it's the fight to lower the Death Star's shield so that it can be destroyed. For the millionth time on this list, I think this set is made for MBS treatment, because let's be honest, nowadays you wouldn't get this much value in a set which, adjusted for inflation, retailed for $150. Tell me if you agree or disagree with my ranking in the comments, and if you love LEGO Star Wars and would like to see more reviews, news and rankings, join me at the Brick Bracket.